friends. So, welcome to the Rest Well Accountability Program. And I'm so happy that you're joining me because this is something that honestly I need too. Um, and that I'm working on. And I thought, you know what? Let's do it together. So if you haven't got your PDF already, please send me a message and I'll make sure that that gets emailed to you. But we're going to go through it right now and just kind of go over the premise of the program, the idea behind it, and how we're going to go about this to achieve our goals. So, really, the idea is that if you want to have a super great day, you want to get all the things done because I know that you do, then you really need to start your day with good intention and just wake up fresh and with good habits and really have that just set routine in the morning that's going to set you up for success throughout your day. But to get to that, we have to rest well the night before, or else it's really hard to get up in the morning with motivation and ambition to do this morning routine. So we need that rest that's going to be replenishing through the night. Well, let's back up a step because to get to our replenished rest, we really should start with a routine, say like a wind down hour before we even go to bed. So you see how this is just all connected, it's all tied together, and one little thing is, dependent on the other thing. What we're going to do is make sure that you have that proper evening routine, that wind down routine, whatever it might look for you. And each of us is going to have something that's slightly different for our life, but I'm going to give you some recommendations, right, to help you out with that and to help you figure out what yours might look like. And then we're going to set up our morning routine and same thing, how that's going to look for you and how it's going to work best in your life. We're going to set goals as far as what our time is that we want to wake up in the morning and the time that we feel that we need to go to sleep at night to achieve that wake up time. Because I know in my younger days I could do shorter stints and maybe I'd go for longer, but it just doesn't work that way anymore. I need that good rest in order to just feel like I can function through the day, right? And, maybe some of you can function on 6 hours or 7 hours, or maybe you need 8 hours. It's unique to you. And this is going to help you figure that out as well, too, I think. We're going to be tracking our wake up time and our bed times, just super simple, writing that down on like a calendar so that we can see, when I went to bed at this time and I woke up at this time, I felt really good, or maybe not, and I need to make adjustments to that. So as you're looking at your PDF here, I'm going to scroll down through mine. The first thing that you're going to do is set those intentions. So starting on, and we're hoping to start this coming Monday, starting on, put the date in there when you're committing to that starting date. I'm going to go to bed at whatever time you think you need to go to bed at to get the number of hours that you feel that your body needs. Most of us have that figured out by now, but we can make tweaks along the way. Honestly, I am in like the 7 to 8 hour range. I just always have been. It's frustrating to me. I wish I could work on 6 hours of sleep, but I just can't. So I know that about myself. So we're going to put our bedtime in there and then we'll wake up at whatever time you are starting your wake ups at. Now, I say starting at because you may have a goal to knock down your wake up time by like an hour. Maybe you're getting up at 7 now and you want to get up at 6, or you're getting up at 6 and you want to get up at 5. We don't expect you to do that boom, lickety split overnight. We're going to take baby steps, baby steps. So, you're going to put in, this is the time that I'm going to wake up at. But my ultimate goal is to go to bed at this time and wake up at this time. So do you see we're setting like this little incremental thing? And it says I will get there by working down in, say, 15-minute increments per week, or whatever you think is achievable for you. I think 15 minutes works out really well. We're making progress. 15 minutes is a good bit of extra time in the morning, but it's not, it doesn't always feel so like large that you can't do it. So the idea is that maybe you're trying to work down, an hour. So this week we're going to knock back 15 minutes, the next week another 15, and so on until you're down that hour. Those are your intentions. Then we're going to go to motives. Anytime you're trying to change habits, we really need to tie into our motives. Why are we doing this in the first place? Because if you don't have a good reason why, you're not going to do it. You're just not. There needs to be something that is super powerful, super moving to you. I'm doing this because fill in the blank. It's going to be different for each of us, because I need that hour in the morning to just be quiet and enjoy the quiet to myself before the kids get up and life becomes crazy. Or I need that time to sit in prayer, or I need that time, whatever it is that you're thinking you really need. Maybe you just need to center yourself before you tackle the day. It can be a myriad of things, but the deeper that you can go with it, the more effective it's going to be, because you need to call on that motive when the alarm clock goes off. You're like, oh, this is why I'm doing it. Tie into that. We're going to go down to your actions. This is how I'm going to use my time. We're going to write in what you're going to do before bed and also in the morning once you're up. We'll talk on that in just a minute. We'll come back to that one in more detail. And then the last thing is just your commitment that you're going to participate in a 30-day daily check-in to not only hold yourself accountable, but to also help motivate the others who are participating, right? Because it's great to be able to see other people doing the same thing that you're doing. Maybe they have some tips and tricks along the way that's working for them. Maybe they need some encouragement and you can provide it, or vice versa. Whenever we can do things as a group and participate together, it just feels a lot nicer. Like somebody's there, somebody understands, right? Me too. We want that. Okay, so that's your commitment. So I just asked you to sort of initial that, to, just put that in writing. Like you're committing to this thing for 30 days. Like, let's see how it goes. Okay, now the next thing in your PDF you're going to see, it says sleep easy. Ideally, you're going to wind down 1 hour before bed. And I will say, I recommend no electronics during that time. Wind down. And what are you going to do with that time? This is where you're going to go back in and write out your little plan there. But I've given you some prompts, some things to think about. First, I want you to plan and know in advance, what am I going to do with my time in the morning? Let me think about that. Let me process what that's going to look like so that I already have a sense of what's going to happen when I wake up. So you're going to plan for that. You're going to prepare yourself for success. That means doing as much, that you can to get yourself ready for the morning. So whether you lay out your clothes, make sure you've got your water set out for yourself, your supplements, your breakfast plan. Like, what am I going to have to nourish my body in the morning? If you're like me, make sure the timer's set on the coffee. And so whatever you need to, maybe it's setting your weights out or your yoga mat out or having your devotional ready. Whatever it is, have that ready, plan and prepare. So it's so much easier to handle in the morning. You're going to take just a little bit of time to review your schedule for tomorrow. This is going to set you up for so much success. You don't realize you're actually like 30% more effective. You get 30% more done like the next day when you review your schedule the night before. So I want you to look at that and just not to dwell on it, but just to know, okay, this is what's in store for me tomorrow. Got it. Okay. And then if there is anything still floating around there in your head or working on your nerves, I want you to just do a little brain dump. Just jot it all down, get it all out. If there's things you're like, oh, I have to remember to do this and I want to do this, release it, write it down, release it out of your mind so that you can lay down to a restful sleep, right? Once those tasks are out of the way, it's time to relax. We want to just calm ourselves, center ourselves. Maybe you want some hot tea. Maybe you need a warm bath, or you like to read before bed. Meditation, or use a meditation app. I like Headspace, for example. Take time for prayer. Whatever brings you down, deep breathing exercises. You need more ideas or examples, ask me. I'm happy to share, and ask the other participants. Maybe they have some things that they're doing that would benefit you as well. So these are the things you're going to go and write in, come up with an idea. It can be flexible. Like this can change as you realize what works for you and what doesn't. But write something down that you're going to commit to those steps for your evening routine. Then we're going to look at the next paper, Master the Morning, Conquer the Day. And here, I just wrote wake up earlier. So, whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's that 15-minute increment, knocking down from what you're accustomed to doing right now. Or maybe you actually already get up early. You're maybe an early riser, but you sort of mosey about, lacking intention, just sort of, you know, ho hum. Do you know what I'm talking about? Just with really just no direction in the morning. And so what I want you to do, in your instance, you may not need to rise earlier, but you might need to set these intentions so that you can better embrace the morning. Okay, I've given you some examples here of what you can do with your time. Again, to each his own, but we want to set you up for success. So I'm giving you some things you can pull on. I always start my morning with prayer. That's okay. I'm gonna back up. I always start my morning first. I get my coffee, and then I go to prayer time, and do devotions, gratitudes, things like that nourish your soul. Truly center me for my day. Then I say nourish meaning having something for your body that is going to nourish you for the first part of the day. Supplements, that's something that's on my list. It might not be on yours, but it's there as a reminder. Goal review. Maybe you want to sit there and look at, okay, now let me look a little bit more closely at what my day is going to look at today. I'm not really taking any actions yet, but I'm setting myself up mentally to prepare for what is ahead. Maybe you like to do affirmations. You're like, okay, I've reviewed my goals. Now I'm going to, recite or write out some affirmations to really let these things settle in to me. Move your body. Anybody feeling like they want to add some exercise? Yes, me too. Moving your body and whatever that looks like for you. And I like to say movement more than exercise because nobody likes like the E word. So adding something in there. And it doesn't have to be an hour-long routine. If you're doing nothing now, 15 minutes is way more better for your body than doing nothing, right? If you're doing 15 minutes, maybe you can add 30. Play with it. But the idea that we're creating intention around that in the morning. Maybe you want to use some time to meditate. Now, remember, not saying you need to do all of these things every morning, just giving ideas of how you can structure your morning. And then lastly, for me, I say put your game face on, and that means my dad used to say, like, put your war paint on, my makeup. And, you can even level up with some hype music, like get yourself going, get yourself pumped up with music. So whatever your morning looks like for you, I want you to write that down, write down what your intentions are. And it might be, like I said, as you're incrementally backing up the time, you're slowly adding in some more things. I've given you some blank templates if you want to have those, posted, maybe one next to your bed or one out in the kitchen for your nighttime wind down routine and their morning one, or wherever it makes sense for you to look at them and use them as a reminder. You have those blank templates that you can write in. And then I have a little Rest Well calendar, just a blank calendar for you to fill in. The way I feel that this is going to be best served, you'll be best served with this, is by writing in your bedtime, the time that you actually are going to sleep that night, or you do go to sleep, not the time you plan to go to sleep, the time that you do go to sleep. So you'll need to write that in the morning for the previous night. And then your wake up time. So not what you were aiming for, but what you actually did. And we're going to track that for 30 days. That is not only motivation in front of you, but something that you can celebrate as you see those times getting closer to your goal. And also, you can look at it and say, oh, I find when I go to bed by 10 o'clock, I'm raring to go by this time. Or, I really feel like I need to get to bed at maybe 9:30 in order to get up at the time I'm wanting to. My power down hour needs to start an hour before that. all of those things tied together. But use that calendar to track just what's happening for you. So the last piece of the puzzle is the accountability piece, right? Because you've got these tools, and so often we have tools, but sometimes we need a piece of accountability to hold us to it, right? Hold your feet to the fire. That's what we're going to do. So, what I would love to see is each morning I am going to, as long as technology works for me, I am going to have a post come up both on my business, the Simplifying Specialist page on Facebook, and the Be and Be Well community of mompreneurs on Facebook, that group. It'll be in both places. If you're a mompreneur and you would like to participate in the group, fantastic. And if not, you just want to go to the page, that's great too. The post will be in both places at 5 a.m. And whatever time that you get to it, that you can go in and post, share with us. This is what time I went to sleep. This is what time I went to bed. Or I'm this close to my goal. Or this is what this morning looked like for me. This is what last night looked for me. I want you to engage. That is part of the commitment, is that you are checking in each day and you are engaging, right? Like I said, I'll put that up at 5 a.m. And then at some point, after, put that in your planner and go ahead and check in and engage so that we can, lovingly hold you accountable. And if you need a little nudge, you need some ideas or anything, reach out. That is what we are here for. Not just me, but the other participants as well. Okay. I think that covers it. If you have any questions, reach out to me, email me, message me on one of the social platforms, whichever, and let me know whether it's before we begin or as we are going through this. I am here for you, and I'm going to be doing it too. So I'm going to be posting. I'm going to let you know, because I don't have this mastered yet, and I would love to. And I'm excited to do this with you. All right. So I will see you first thing Monday morning in the group and on the Simplifying Specialist page. Right. Thanks, friends.